ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், வெல்கம் டு அவர் சேனல். இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போகிறோம்னா ஓல்டு ஃபோர்ட் நயாகரா. இது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஹிஸ்ட்ரி சைட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இது டிரைவிங் டிஸ்டன்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நயாகரா ஃபால்ஸ்லேருந்து ரொம்ப பக்கத்தில் தான் இருக்குது. இந்த ஓல்டு ஃபோர்ட் நயாகராவோட டிக்கெட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அடல்ட்க்கு $15 வாங்குறாங்க, சைல்டுக்கு $10 வாங்குறாங்க. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. இந்த ஓல்டு ஃபோர்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கிட்டத்தட்ட 23 மினிட்ஸ் ட்ராவல் வரும். 14 மைல்ஸ் டிஸ்டன்ஸ் இருக்குது இது. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
We're going to cross over a drawbridge. On either side you'll notice the big wheels that you associate with the drawbridge and the counterweights, okay, to pick this bridge up. Notice the thickness of the walls. They're 5 to 6 feet thick. The wood's been replaced over the years, but everything else is original.
இந்த வால் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 5 to 6 feet திக்னஸாக இருக்கும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி அவர் சொல்கிறாரு. Upstairs? Yeah, sure. Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth. இந்த இடத்துல பாருங்கள், இங்கே பாருங்கள், அங்கே 3 கிணறு வச்சுருக்காங்க பார்த்தீங்களா? என்னோட கேமராமேன் பார்க்குறேங்க, இந்த பாருங்கள், இவர் தான் கேமராமேன். ஹாய். ஓகே, இப்போ நம்ம அந்த ஃபோர்ட்க்கு வந்திருக்கோம். பாருங்கள் இது எப்படி இருக்குன்ட்டு. அதுதான் நம்ம இப்போ அங்கே போய் பார்க்க போகிறோம். போய் பார்ப்போம் வாங்க. இங்கே பாருங்கள், இங்கே ஒரு கிணறு வச்சுருக்காங்க. இதை பாருங்கள், இது அந்த காலத்தில் யூஸ் பண்ண கிணறு. இது எதனால் பண்ணியிருக்காங்கன்னு தெரியல, கண்டிப்பாக இரும்புனால் தான் பண்ணியிருக்காங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பாருங்கள், அங்கே பாருங்கள். வாங்க நம்ம இப்போ கடல் கிட்ட பார்ப்போம். இது காயின் தான் நினைக்கிறேன். எல்லா இடத்துலையும் காயின் கேட்குறாங்க. I don't have money. Single penny. ஒன்றும். சரி வாங்க, நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் வந்து அடுத்த வாட்டி வரும்போது நிறைய காயின்ஸ் எடுத்துகிட்டு வரணும். காயின்ஸ் எல்லாமே ரொம்ப இதுவாக இருக்குது. ஃபால்ஸ்லேருந்து வர தண்ணி வந்து இந்த கடலில் வந்து கலக்குது. அந்த சைடு வந்து கனடாவோடது. இந்த இடம் தான் வந்து கடைசியாக எண்டு. இது காயின்ஸ் வந்து எதுக்கோ வச்சுக்கோங்க. அப்போ தான் வந்து நீங்கள் வந்து இந்த டெலஸ்கோப் மூலிமா அந்த பில்டிங்லாம் வந்து பார்க்கலாம். காலத்தோட ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் ட்ரெஸ் இது அவங்களோடது. வாங்க. Take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. இந்த ஓல்டு ஃபோர்ட் நயகரா பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 300 வருஷத்துக்கு மேலே வந்து இது பழமையான இடம். இது இங்கே இருக்கிற ஏராளமான பொருட்கள் பார்த்திங்கன்னா வந்து 1679 காலகட்டத்தில் வந்து பயன்படுத்தின பொருட்கள்லாம் இங்கே வந்து வச்சுருக்காங்க. முக்கியமாக சொல்ல போனோன்னா வந்து இந்த ஸ்கின் வந்து அனிமல்ஸோட ஸ்கின்லாம் வந்து வச்சுருக்காங்க இங்கே. இந்த ஓல்டு ஃபோர்ட்டில் நீங்கள் வந்தீங்கன்னா இங்கே வந்து பார்க்கலாம் இதெல்லாம்.
Rations of peas and pork in the fireplace. They also ate bread issued from the bakery. When off duty, they were free to augment their meager rations by gardening or hunting wild game.
இந்த இடம் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. இது வந்து இந்த சேர்லாம் செய்கிற இடத்துக்கு வச்சுருக்காங்க போல இருக்கு.
Are choosing to bring women with them, and they're getting paid to do things like laundry and nursing, staffing the hospital that was here as well, in order to make sure that high standards of hygiene are continued and kept up, but also like high standards of healthcare. Preventative medicine is your best bet in the 1700s, and that's what 1700s doctors are also pushing. They're aware of their limitations. They know that they can't cure most things that people are getting sick with, and so they're trying to prevent people from getting sick in the first place so that it doesn't become a problem. But that's why laundry is a part of every fort, always has been, probably honestly always will be. My partner is in the Marines, and he, you know, still to this day gets yelled at, you know, if his uniform is dirty, or if they suspect that, you know, you're sick and you're interacting with other people on the base, because they don't want the same thing to happen, and they don't want the whole base to get sick. So it's funny how some things have not changed even a little bit in the last 250 years. I am finishing up. This is an apron that I'm squeezing out right now. This is my rinse. The water is cloudy because I'm washing soap out of it. But I start my process off with stain removal. If you look back at that bench, that little corner there is my stain removal corner. I've got a lot of different little chemicals to help me get stains out of clothes, and I can show you a couple of them. I'm just gonna put this here for now. I'll spread it out on the grass in a minute so that it can actually dry. Starting off, we've got white vinegar and ammonia. Both of those are very good at getting stains out. I also have this powder here, which is a chemical called potassium aluminum sulfate. We call it alum. Alum is a crystal that grows naturally in caves in the Mediterranean and parts of Egypt. It can be ground down into a powder, and then this powder can be dissolved in water, and that helps white linens to look whiter. I also have Fuller's Earth. Fuller's Earth is a type of clay. This is very, very useful for getting spots out of wool. Wool you really shouldn't wash because it will ruin the properties of the wool that make it so special and so useful as a garment. But if you've got a spot, you can put fuller's earth on it, like make a paste out of it, put the paste over the spot, let it dry completely, and then you can brush it off and it has pulled it out. We use this actually a lot in modern day face masks because it is really good at absorbing oil. So it's a nice, yeah, if you check the package of your, you know, the next time you do like a mud mask or something, this is probably in it. It's probably the main ingredient. But it's also very good at getting spots out of stuff because of that same property of soaking up oils. This is really cool. So I also have, this is part of the finishing process. So usually I put this in the rinse water, but it also helps with staining. So this is something called
இந்த 18வது நூற்றாண்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து மிலிட்ரி சைட்லலாம் வந்து அமெரிக்கனோட ஒய்ஃப்ஸ்லாம் வந்து மேஜராக வந்து இந்த சலவை வேலையை தான் வந்து மெயினாக அவங்க வந்து பார்ப்பாங்க. அதை அவங்க எப்படி பார்க்குறாங்கன்றத வந்து இவங்க வந்து எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்காங்க.
This helps if linen has become yellow, either from age or from, you know, like sweat, honestly. This will help it to look white again. And the reason for that is it's an optical illusion. If you look at the color wheel of light, so not the color wheel that you use for art, but the color wheel of like how light reflects and like what light is made up of, blue and yellow are on opposite sides of that wheel, and that means that they counteract one another. So when I dissolve a little bit of this blue dye into my rinse water, and then I rinse out something white, it's going to dye that white garment ever so slightly blue. Not so blue that I will notice it with my eyes, but blue enough that it'll counteract the yellow that's in the garment and trick your eyes into thinking that it's white again. Is because when you're removing a stain, you're not actually taking the thing out of the cloth. What you're doing instead is you're breaking up molecular bonds. When you break up the bonds that connect all those molecules together, you can't see it anymore because our eyes are not equipped to see molecules that are standing individually. So the thing that has made the stain is still there, you just can't see it anymore. And because not all molecules are bonded the same way, you need different things to break those bonds up. One of my favorite examples, and this is something you can use practically in your own life if you like, is a blood stain. A blood stain is what we call an enzymatic stain because you need enzymes to break those molecular bonds. Does anybody know a ready source of enzymes? Got on you an old...
It's so beautiful, you and me, we're meant to be.
இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து ஃபால்ஸ்லேருந்து வர வாட்டர் எல்லாமே வந்து அப்படியே போய் கலக்குது பாருங்கள். கடலில் போயிட்டு கலக்குது. லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் சைடு வந்து கனடா, ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைடு வந்து அமெரிக்கா.
Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
No! Okay, so what is this device going to be used for? To fight over things, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to use this device as is pretty much a gunpowder-powered catapult. It is meant to throw things up and over walls or fortifications, and it will not be a solid ball of iron like a cannonball would be. It will be something like this. So what is this? What was that? A bomb! Exactly! This thing is a bomb, a hollowed out iron shell filled with gunpowder, weighing in at about 8.5 pounds, stopped with a wooden fuse, the center of which is made of gunpowder and turpentine. It burns slowly in increments of seconds, marked out by notches on the side of the wood. Now that means if it's burning in increments of seconds, and we have measured the seconds, that we can either leave on or take off seconds as we see fit. making this a timed bomb. So we are going to be timing these bombs to explode in midair. In our case, at chest level with targets on the other side of a wall. So chest level, ladies and gentlemen. That means that the blast is going up, it's going down, and it's going out in every direction all around. So let's just imagine for a second that you guys are inside the walls of a fort. Shouldn't be hard to do. Now, just picture this. Where in a fort like this are you going to run to when the bombs start falling from the sky and exploding at chest level? The tunnels. Say what? That place. Pretty much. That place. A building of sorts. Bananas?
Cano.
I was gonna say, okay, the tunnels don't really exist for most of this fort's history, but inside a building will do just fine because, ladies and gentlemen, those walls are made of stone and at least 2 feet thick. This is not getting through that. You're going to be safe in there. A little too safe, you see, because what can you not do to the people throwing bombs at you when you're locked inside the buildings, or, for the benefit of the doubt, the tunnels? Fire back. You can't shoot back. That is our intent. We throw these over your walls to scare you inside so that you can't shoot at us while we shoot at you so you can't shoot at us, so while we shoot at you so you can't shoot at us while we can't shoot at you. You get the idea. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's make this even worse. When you are inside, unable to shoot at us, and we are still shooting at you, we can move our infantry, our bigger guns, our ladders closer and closer and closer to your fort walls without any resistance from you. So think of this as a terror weapon, meant to affect suppression fire more than anything else. Add to it the fact that, well, does this look like we're in any particular hurry to fire this device? Now tell me, what is your first impression of a mortar crew that looks like this?
Didn't get a lot of sleep.
Didn't get a lot of sleep. Maybe they're on break. City workers. I like that one. I'm going to keep that. So, ladies and gentlemen, not a good impression, right? Well, what if I told you this is actually the ideal behavior of a mortar crew? You see, we're not supposed to fire in a standard, predictable pattern. First order of business, I have to choose a target on the other side. Now, usually, these mortars are going to be used to fire up and over walls at stationary objects. So I'm going to keep to this thing's approved methods. Choose a stationary target. Sorry for those of you who wanted to see the Youngstown Yacht Club suffer a loss. Canadian flag, 6 seconds pretty. Who's confused? What's the range? Yeah, I was just about to get to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have just selected a target at the maximum range away, which is about 800 yards up and down. It's basically right on the edge of the land over there, so it might be a difficult shot to make. But I have predicted the shot to be 6 seconds away. What we are doing now is having Andy here cut the fuse down with a small saw to about the length of 6 seconds of burn time. He will then insert the fuse into the bomb, our ammunition will be primed, and we can take care of the second order of business, which is keeping all of us and you safe. Swap piece. A wet rag is run down the interior of the mortar barrel to remove any leftover bits of debris or burning embers from the last shot. I don't think I need to tell any of you guys this, but loading gunpowder on top of something that is still on fire is a bad move for your health. So once we are assured that that is not going to be done, handle cartridge. Advance cartridge. Load cartridge. Ram down cartridge. Everything that we have just done is about loading the bag of gunpowder first. We do this in this order, in this way, because there's a very specific way to load the powder, and there's a very specific way to load the bomb on top. The powder needs to be rammed down to a specifically cup-shaped compartment in the back of the barrel that will provide enough pressure to propel the bomb out of the mortar and also make room for the bomb to sit in the mortar as well. Now, once that is done, we will be inserting the bomb. But before we do that, I must warn you guys over here and you guys over here that you are in the precise worst place to be for a mortar firing, and you do in fact risk blowing out your ears. So I will censor the begging and instead command you to move back behind this area for your safety and so that I don't have to deal with the paperwork later. Handle bomb. Advance bomb. Load bomb. We load the bomb with the fuse pointing outward. We do this so that when we fire the mortar, the blast from the powder behind the bomb will wrap around the iron shell as it is being fired, touch off the fuse as it flies out, and save us the wasted seconds of running around to the front of the gun, lighting the fuse off ourselves, running back to the back of the gun, priming the gun, setting up the fuse, and then lighting up the fuse at the back of the gun as well. You can see how that might end badly for us. It's also not a good idea to load the bomb with the fuse pointing inward, lest you shoot through the fuse, hit the bomb's powder charge on the inside of the barrel, and blow yourself up before you have a chance to assail your enemy. Prime. A brass needle is inserted into the vent of the cannon. It punctures the bag of gunpowder inside the cup-shaped chamber inside, and that will allow us to insert our fuse. Our fuse is a quill, literally a bird's quill hollowed out, filled with gunpowder, and stuck directly into the powder charge inside the barrel. We will be touching fire to that quill directly with this implement right here. This is something called a lint stock. The lint stock is made up of a piece of cotton cord soaked in potassium nitrate and vinegar, so it burns very slowly and intensely like a lit cigarette. It's at the end of a long stick, so that Dwight can stand his distance from the mortar while firing, so he doesn't deafen himself, burn himself, or otherwise get himself hurt in the process of firing this gun. Now, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of which, once we have received the signal, that's the signal, the mortar is now ready to fire. So this mortar can either bark with such ferocity that the ground beneath you will shake, or it will utter the most pitiable wheeze imaginable. So at this point, let us prepare for the best by taking our hands, clapping them against the side of your head like this to shield them from the blast, letting your jaw hang slack to relieve the pressure, and hoping for the best. Mortar crew, make ready. Fire! Secure the piece. Piece secure.
I can't hear on my right ear.
I don't see the flag waving anymore, so it must be a successful hit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens then. Once we have made our shot, we determine if we've hit or not. If we have hit, we record everything that we've just done. Length of the fuse, distance to target, angle of barrel, position of mortar, position of target, everything like that. And we take it all down in a little handy-dandy artillerist's notebook, so if a similar shot comes up later, we can replicate it without thinking. If we miss, no big deal, we'll try again later. Now, since we have achieved a successful hit, what we are about to do is drop the side ropes and allow you all to come up and take a closer look at the device, take a closer look at us, ask us any questions you may want, and if that does not appeal to you, then wander around and enjoy the rest of your day.
இந்த ஃபோர்ட்லேருந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இங்கே ஒரு பீச் ஒன்று இருக்குது. இங்கே பார்க்கிங் விட்டுட்டு நீங்கள் பீச் வந்து பார்க்கலாம். வாங்க நம்ம பீச்சை வந்து பார்ப்போம். இந்த பீச் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கொஞ்சம் பாப்புலர் கூட சொல்லுவாங்க. இந்த பக்கத்துலேயே தான் இருக்குது, ரொம்ப பக்கத்தில் இருக்குது. கார் பார்க்கிங் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃப்ரீ தான். இங்கே ரொம்ப பக்கத்தில் தான் இருக்குது. கார் பார்க் பண்ணிவிட்டு நீங்கள் வந்து ஜஸ்ட்டு ரிலாக்ஸ் பண்ணலாம். நீங்கள் ஓல்ட் ஃபோர்ட் வந்து அந்த டூர் முடிச்சுட்டு நீங்கள் வந்து இதை ட்ரை பண்ணுங்கள். உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்கும்னு நான் நம்புகிறேன். இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள், மறக்காமல் பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்கள். Thanks for watching.